Hello, hello. What's up? What's up? Dark Match Steve. About to get slutty up in here. Something about live streaming just turns me into a hussy. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening. This is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. How's everybody doing? What's up? What's up? We'll get some people in here and we'll start this we'll start up this debate. You know me, I love a good debate. There I am. What's up, guys? How's it going? Good evening, good evening. Or, morning, good afternoon, wherever the fuck you are, whatever time it is. I don't know. I hope your day is going well. If you're watching my show anyway, I don't give a fuck about everybody else. Yeah, what's up, guys? How's it going? Fat Pig's already up in the chat. What's up, bro? Good evening, sweet cheeks. Hey, what's up? My cheeks are mighty sweet. They are. That's no lie. Oh, fuck, man. So yeah, last night was a lot of fun. You don't know how many fucking people, quite a few people hit me up, messaged me and told me what a good time they had watching the stream last night. Oh, fuck, man. So Carlos, I'd have to go to the video. Carlos left a message, or where was it? I saw this. He said something. I didn't read the full message. Inbound Realty, what's up, bro? How's it going? Hinstar, what's up, bro? Fucking what was I saying? Yeah, someone Carlos put a message somewhere on the video saying best show ever. Yeah, thank you, bro. No, that was a good one. Yeah, last night's show about Holyoke Joe, the supermarket. It was a wild one, you guys, and I told you it was gonna be a wild one. That guy is a handful. He's been talking more shit about me to like Carlos and stuff. He did. I saw some video that it was Holyoke Joe showing his devices. Remember last night I pulled up pictures from inside his room where he's got like 5 devices streaming the same show at one time. And he's like, that's playing on my TV. I'm not signed in on a separate account on the TV. I'm not chatting through my TV. And then here's my tablet here. And then here's this other tablet. And then I've got a phone. And then you see the phone that I'm filming all of this with. I got that too. You think I'm signed in to 10 different accounts through these? I could have 10 different accounts with just one device. He's like, it's like, okay, bro. I never claimed to know 100% that Holyoke Joe has 10 fucking fake accounts. This is just a theory, and I was being straight up. He could say I'm a fucking idiot if he wants. But it's just funny, though, as we went through the messages, I showed how he would say a bunch of shit, and it would be like 3 lies in a row. At least the first 2 things I could prove was a lie because he said he didn't talk a bunch of shit. Whatever people told me that they heard isn't true, that I didn't see a video because there's no video. And I played the video of him talking shit about me for a minute. And anyway, you just see all of these provable lies. And then in with that is him claiming he doesn't have 10 accounts. So it was just very funny the way things worked out. It was a great show last night. So many people hit me up saying they loved it, and whatever. I hope truly that Holyoke Joe isn't like too mad at me shoot style. I mean, I know part of him, and he even said, we listened to the audio. He kept saying over and over again in these fucking in the audio messages that he sent to me, he kept saying, "Here, play this on your fucking stream, your stupid stream." So he deep down he wanted all that attention last night, guys. So don't. I hope no one thinks, "Oh, that's what I was getting at." Someone, Carlos, left some message talking about. I didn't read the whole thing, but I saw the notification. I think it's on YouTube saying, "I don't want to punch down. This is." I hope people don't think that I'm trying to just punch down at somebody that's stuck in a fucking bed, you know. But at some point, you got to punch back a little bit. And I straight up told him when he started sending me the crazy ass audio messages. I told him, I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna share these because I can't keep this to myself. I can't keep a secret like this." Um, Mike Bear Ramos, what's up? What's up? Thanks for coming and checking out the stream on Facebook over there. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Been trucking. Finally get to see you. Oh, cool. Yeah, dude. I respect the trucking. You're actually like a cross country or whatever. Actual FTE, right? Full trucker effect. Yeah. Um, Adam Wiley, what's up, bro? The oak is a yoke. He's just sassy, bro. Sassy knows sassy, and yes, he is sassy, and I'm sassy, so I can say that. No, yeah, sassy and unhinged at times. It's truly shocking to me how he started off messaging me very kindly, and you saw in the messages where he's like, "Oh, thank you for messaging me after my mom passed. I really appreciate that, and your stream is great." And then all those texts were within like an hour or so, and in that short amount of time, he flipped on me to completely. You heard the messages. If you haven't heard them yet, they're on last night's stream. We're not going through all this shit again. But anyway, what we're gonna do tonight, if you saw the thumbnail, you guys, fucking Candace Owens and Rabbi Shmuley have finally faced off in some debate on Piers Morgan, and I got to give it to Piers Morgan because he's truly been having some good debates, interesting, controversial debates on his show, and they've gone pretty well a lot of the time. They're just if nothing else, very interesting and fun to watch. I'm looking up a different clip here real quick. But so we're gonna get to this. I promise you guys. First, I have not watched any of this debate. I took in the first 5 seconds of this video, it has clips, and I watched enough of that to God damn it, I spelled that wrong. I watched some clips so that I could get a thumbnail, but I have not watched any of this debate. So this is gonna be fun for all of us. Dancing. See if this pops up. Okay, yeah, let me screen share here. So in case anybody forgets, um, we can have an intervention with Holyoke. That last night was last night was Holyoke Joe's intervention. That's what I was. That's so funny you say that because I was thinking about that today. I was like, you know what? That was an intervention for Joe, and I didn't even intend for it to be that, and it was. Steven Coco, what's up, bro? How's it going? Good to see you in the chat. What's up, fam? I appreciate you checking out the stream. No, last night was like an intervention for Joe, and I didn't plan on, like, I wasn't thinking I'd have such a big crowd of people that wanted to, all gather around and hear the story, the tale of Holyoke Joe, to watch me talk shit about him. But it all wasn't shit talking. I complimented him on some stuff and whatever, but yeah, this It was like an intervention. A lot of the people that were watching last night my stream about Holyoke Joe, the people that were watching, a good majority of them were people that have also been victims of Holyoke Joe. So it was very fun. People really enjoyed it. Anyway, so I'll screen share on Twitter here in case anyone forgets. This was the guy, Rabbi Shmuley. He's like fighting. He was fighting before. This is him twerking on some little fucking kid. The guy is, sets off my weirdo alarm. I'm sure he does with a lot of fucking people. This is him twerking on some little fucking kid. His brain got broken. I forget what exactly happened. Candace Owens said something and it fucking pissed him off. Let me see if I can find, because there's a longer version where he's literally losing his mind and saying it's like a response. How could I find this? There's a longer video and he's like going off in the.
I should do this more professionally, but I'm just too excited about it. I'm so proud of this. Kosher Sex, my shaman, made in Israel, baby. From Israel, love is going out. Make love and war. Israel has to make war right now against Hamas because they're monsters and killers. And as long as they continue to slaughter people.
Bro! You can't get through one advertisement about a sex toy without bringing up Gaza. Holy fucking shit. That's hustling right there.
Well, there's not going to be peace. We have to destroy Hamas. But that doesn't mean that Jewish marriages should suffer in the meantime. Make love and war. It's almost like you have to choose. Make love, not war. Sometimes you got to make love and war. And, my daughter Hannah she gives a lot of these products free to Jewish soldiers, married Jewish soldiers, the IDF soldiers. Made in Israel, baby. Let me get a good picture of this. Hold on. While I do this video. I got to do this holding it with one hand. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Made in Israel, baby. Woo! It says made in Israel.
So I believe this is his daughter's company, right? Anyway, they say he's selling sex toys. This is him twerking on the kid. Where's the longer? Oh, okay. Here's the one video where he's like, he lost his mind.
Sucks. You're wearing Israeli flag? Esther, are you wearing an Israeli flag? Are you wearing an Israeli?
Yeah, this is people
Sucks.
really.
You're wearing Israeli
people
flag?
really.
Sucks. You're wearing
No.
Israeli flag? Esther, are you wearing an Israeli?
People really flipped out when he danced for these kids. People flipped out when he danced for these kids, and he had this. If you see his nose is extra long, I don't know if people remember when these videos came out, but I think some of these were a response to Candace Owens. He mentioned her. Here's a longer one. Okay, all right. It looks like we're gonna have fun tonight, guys. For sure, this video is gonna come up on Piers Morgan. What are people saying about? Yeah, see, people flipped out when this happened. Rabbi Shmuley inappropriately fondled a little girl in a video which he uploaded on X. Instead of facing sanctions by the platform, the person who brought this to the public attention had been punished for child sexploitation. Not the rabbi. So someone that brought up that he touched this little girl on her titty, I guess got in trouble instead of the rabbi. Where's the full video? There's one video where they're talking about where it's Rabbi Shmuley with the fucking long ass nose, like a prosthetic nose, and he's saying like, Candace Owens, I'm drinking the blood of Christians. This is what Candace Owens thinks that we do. Those kids got out of there. They're like, we don't want another lap dance. We better get out of this tent. Jesus Christ. Well, the guy sells sex toys and oh yeah, Bubba reposted this. Check this out.
It's intended.
This has nothing to do with Rabbi Shmuley. Besides that, he probably sells these on his website too. I don't know, but anyway.
And I just realized some of you may not know what a packer is.
This is a packer, guys. Check this out. This is for 5-year-old little kids to stuff in their underwear. Have you guys seen these?
That's a packer. It's intended for girls.
That's a Green Bay Packer right there.
Under 5 to put in their underwear so that they have a bulge that mimics.
Who's up in the chat? Mark the Frog. What's up, dude? Thanks for checking out the show. I think it's your first time in here. What's up, bro? I appreciate it. Buzzard Bob. Fuck. Buzzard Bob, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Is this what the rabbi is selling? He may, in fact, sell Packers. I don't know. Eric Onigo, he got destroyed. Who, Rabbi Shmuley did? In the debate? Yeah, I haven't watched it. We'll get to it in a second here. I'm just giving a little bit of context because when this came up, I was like, I'm trying to find this fucking video. The video, I'm right, Eric Onega, did you see that video? He mentions Candace Owens, that whatever video he flipped out and had the prosthetic nose and said he was drinking Christian blood out of a cup and stuff. I think he mentioned Candace Owens in this video.
Penis.
Bro, this is for like a little kid to put in their underwear. Why is it hard? Why is it sticking straight out like it's hard? Is that a gross question to ask? I mean, yes, it is. Well, but seriously, it's a real question. I'm not trying to be shocking here. Why are they giving little 5-year-old kids this to stick in their underwear to pretend they're a boy, and it's hard?
This is for a girl under 5. It's intended for her to put in her panties so that she has a bulge that looks like a boy's. So, might as well give it a try, right? I don't wear pants very often, but let's see. Put my little packer there. Okay, so
look at that. Oh, wait.
And
look at that big bulge.
Quite a nice bulge. So can you imagine having this in a little girl's panties, a little girl who is under the age of 5, and this is clearly supposed to look like a penis. It's got it's a circumcised penis, interestingly enough. I can't even imagine what parent would buy this for their daughter, a child under 5 years old, and then in the morning say, honey, don't forget to put your packer in. To me, this is reinforcing gender dysphoria.
Yeah, this is the rotting of the parents' brains in America, that anyone would think that this is a good idea to get a fucking prosthetic penis to put in your little fucking toddler's underwear. That is sick on a level that I'd like to not even stoop to. Anyway, let's see here. Where's the fucking video? Okay, yes, he twerked on the kid. I want to see him talk shit about Candace Owens. Why does that other video keep popping up with the Packers? Everybody else. You guys, I found a kitten in my mom's yard, and it's out there in the cage, and it won't shut the fuck up, you guys. I don't know if it wants to be on camera. All right. I'm not going to keep scrolling on Twitter because that's dangerous. So yeah, we're going to get right to the debate. I can't find that video, but anyway, Candace Owens and fucking Shmuley have had beef. We're going to get right to the fucking shit here. This is basically, this debate is going to be Christianity versus Judaism. Which fucking Stone Age shitty religion is the worst?
These mushrooms make you feel better.
Never said that.
All right, here we go, people. You ready? Fucking Rabbi Shmuley selling dildos and twerking on kids. Candace Owens, straight up anti-Semitic on Twitter, flipped out. She's the female Kanye West. She, lost her deal with Daily Wire because she doesn't want to promote Israel on a conservative platform that she is the voice for. So, here we are. The gloves are coming off. This is guaranteed to be completely fucking retarded. So let's get right into it.
Threatened to murder me. Don't cut me off. I did not cut you off.
Now she's fact checking it. You're kidding me, right?
I
don't have a computer on me.
The Israeli Defense Force had dropped more bombs on Gaza than were dropped on Dresden. That is true. You accept that, Rabbi Shmuley?
Here we go. Yes, this is gonna get ugly, guys.
Pierce, I find this an astonishing debate.
You asked.
Wait. First of all, I don't.
Adam Wiley. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. I don't know what the fuck she said on Twitter. I know she's no, people were saying that it's anti-Semitic for her to say at Ben Shapiro, she added him on Twitter and said like Christ is king or something. I'm fucking around. I don't give a fuck if she's anti-Semitic or whatever. I don't know what she says. She's not somebody that I follow for anything. And it is funny, I guess. I don't know what the context is of him talking about fact checking something because whatever. Candace Owens sometimes gets very loose with the facts. There's just so many times I've seen her say some bullshit that I'm just like, bro, you have not even looked at. Dude, she was talking about, I may have brought this up on my stream before. Candace Owens fucking, yeah. Der Klassiker, yeah. It looks like he's like eating some booty cheeks right there. This is what he's showing you how to use one of his sex toys. What were we getting? Oh yeah, so Candace Owens with fact checking. Yes, look at the tongue. Yeah, I love it. We'll see how much she knows about the situation in Gaza and whatnot, because she straight up said she was talking about the conflict in Israel / Palestine and saying, she said something like the Nakba happened in 1945. And that's not when it happened, okay? For those of you scoring at home. So this bitch will literally say some shit that she has no clue what she's talking about. I don't think, when the clip I saw, I don't think she had done any fucking research or gave a shit at all, besides, being like majorly pro-Christian to the point of nearly being anti-Semitic. That's all she knew was like, well, whatever, I'm getting kicked off a Daily Wire by some Jews, so so that's enough for me to hate Israel in the context of the conflict. So anyway, let's get to this shit right here. I don't know if she's anti-Semitic. I don't give a fuck. Let's go.
Wait. What do you mean it's true? Because she said it's true?
The war in Gaza is barreling towards a grim anniversary. This deadly year, sparked by a terrorist atrocity and met with an often merciless...
I didn't think they were even going to get into the Gaza shit. I have not watched this. I thought this was going to just be like them two talking shit to each other on a few different topics. I hope this whole thing is in Israel-Palestine, because I don't think either of these people know shit about it.
Response has changed the way that many people think about an historic dispute. Never in our lifetimes has...
I bet if you just right off the bat, if like you went to Candace Owens and just like, like a sneak attack, ambush reporter just walk up to her, name 2 countries that border Israel. She would actually get stuck for a second. She would be like,
There's been such active debate about Israel's role in the modern world and whether the United States and its allies should back it. Protests and counter-protests have brought anti-Semitism to the fore, along with the charge that it sometimes insulates Israel from criticism.
Yeah, yes, Mark Lalonde. I watched that, bro. Waters was pissed, and it was very funny because Roger Waters, look, I won't say I agree with him on everything, but he brought up some interesting points, and I've never, one of these days, I don't know if I can, what platforms I can do this on, but we're going to break down some of the shit, some of the claims he made, some of the things he brought up. Look, I don't think I should go down this road on this podcast or on this stream tonight. But yes, Roger Waters was on Piers Morgan. This was like a month or a couple months ago. I kind of agree, though. Waters is a anti-Semitic mofo. Yeah, I don't know. He may be. I don't know what other, besides the shit that he said on Piers Morgan. But anyway, he brought up some interesting points. The fucking the response time of the IDF and the levels of security at the border that should have been there, as if you think like, wow, you're surrounded by countries that hate you, and you just happen to have the border less secure on October 7th, right, guys? That's just a coincidence. Okay, let's get to the debate. You're right, Adam Wiley. Stay focused. Let's get into this. We'll fact check. They bring up some stuff here. I'll talk shit and fact check my bullshit theories and maybe look some shit up. Let's go with the flow.
2 guests have vivid opinions on these big issues and have had a very public feud. We're bringing them together for what we intend, I hope, to be a proper debate. The topics will be the Israel-Hamas war.
Proper debate. Let's see. I can guarantee you already this debate we're a minute something in. This debate is less than an hour. We're not going to get anything of substance about the Israel-Palestine conflict with less than an hour to tease details apart. I can guarantee you this is just going to be for entertainment purposes. Don't expect to learn anything here.
Anti-Semitism in public life, American involvement in Israel, and Israeli involvement in the United States. And we'll even talk about Michael Jackson, who is relevant to this debate. Both guests will get roughly equal speaking time and a chance to question each other. Speaking of the other guest is not encouraged. Ad hominem attacks are strongly discouraged. But knowing these two as I do, I can make no promises. Returning to Uncensored, host of the Candace podcast, Candace Owens, and the author of The Israel Warrior and the Michael Jackson tapes, Rabbi Shmuley. So welcome to both of you. First of all, it's great you're doing this. You've had a public feud for a couple of years now. You've torn into each other in various forums. This is your chance to take each other on. And at the center of this, as I said in the intro there, is a very serious global story, which is the Israel-Hamas war and all the complexities that come away from that. I want to give you both the chance to make an opening statement. So Rabbi Shmuley, you won the toss. We didn't really actually toss, but we both agreed you can do this. You go first. Your opening remarks.
Thank you, Piers, for having me. And Candace, thank you for debating me. I have spent my life bringing together the Black and Jewish communities, emphasizing that we share not only a history of shared persecution, but of spiritual promise. Today, we debate an American tragedy, a woman of unique eloquence who has abused that eloquence to become simultaneously the foremost anti-Black rhetorician in all of the United States and the foremost anti-Semite in America. The statements that Candace has made against her own community, that they cry wolf and constantly say that they're victims of racism. Her attacks on George Floyd, a man who was suffocated to death for a $20 counterfeit note saying that he was a horrible human being. A woman who went up in front of CPAC and said, I was never a slave in America, as if that's the only form of discrimination. is what has led her community to call her not Candace, but
Dude, this motherfucker looks dirty as fuck, bro. How the fuck? Look, man. How are you actually going on TV with this dusty ass fucking beard and the fucking dusty ass eyebrows, dude? This guy looks like fucking shit.
Candace, the first ever female black woman who appears in her rhetoric against blacks, calling LeBron James dumb and stupid, an icon to the black community.
LeBron James is dumb and stupid and cannot read. So, Candace Owens, you're already your point up.
As Candace. Simultaneously, you have the Jewish community beginning to call her not Candace Owens, but Candace Ovens, because her Goebbels-style rhetoric against Jews, that Jews are nearly all pedophiles.
Candace Ovens. Holy, that's the German pronunciation. Candace Ovens. Oh, fuck, Rabbi. Not bad, Rabbi. Not bad.
Files. The State of Israel will set up a Theodor Herzl, a pedophile, as
Hey, Mark Lalonde. Hey. Easy there. This kind of talk is going to make me need to assign moderators in my chat. Dirty what? No, I'm not. That wasn't. Bro, I'm just being observant. I didn't say that before seeing the guy. His fucking. I didn't say he looked. Well, did I say dirty? I may have. His beard looks fucked up. His beard looks dusty as hell, and just like looks like it hasn't been washed recently. I don't know. Erase the comment. I don't know how to do that. No, it's okay, bro. I'm just playing. We're good. We're good. No, I totally didn't mean it like that, though. For real. I was just looking. His beard looks dusty as fuck, man. It just looks like that all the hair's like fried or something. I don't know. It looks wispy and weird. Okay, moving on.
A haven for pedophiles. That Judaism is a demonic, satanic cult that only protects pedophiles. And by the way, her absolute obsession with Jewish sexuality and Jewish genitalia, the first lady of France, Brigitte Macron's genitalia, is disturbing. It's one of the reasons I think she hates Sigmund Freud so much, because she's a Freudian field dream in terms of his arguments that the greater the sexual suppression and repression, the greater we see violence. But when you say that the Jews killed JFK because he was about to ostracize Israel, when you invent all of these fabrications out of...
Dude, yeah, that was that video Candace put out, something about the Jews doing the JFK assassination and stuff. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh, fuck.
Of whole cloth. What is the result? The result is the demonization of Jews that leads to violence. Piers, just 1 week ago, 2 days after Candace falsely accused me, as she has for 2 years, of being a murderer, of threatening to kill her, something for which she will face legal action, because you cannot malign a rabbi and his daughter as murderers. 2 days later, I was swatted in my house, where 5 police cars had to break into my house because Mayor Michael Wilds of Englewood, New Jersey.
The police cars broke into his house. The cars themselves, they rammed right through his fucking door.
Received an email, arguably from one of Candace's followers, after she said essentially what Henry II says: "Who will rid me of this troublesome priest?" which leads directly to the murder of Thomas Becket, who today is a Catholic saint, of course. We were swatted, and the FBI is now investigating Candace's rhetoric. They're investigating.
Rabbi Shmuley, I'm interrupting because you've now
wait. Just
you've now been speaking for 3 minutes.
One final point.
So Candace will get exactly the same amount of time. It's up to you, but it's an opening statement, right? And what I would say.
May I? Yeah.
Let him finish, Piers. Shut the fuck up, you dumb Brit.
I just say finally, if I may.
Well, if it's quick,
The biggest issue I have with Candace, to be honest, is that she claims to be a Christian. Candace, didn't Jesus say you're supposed to love your enemies?
This is what I've said before on here. If you ever watch a bad debate, 90% of the time, it's a good portion of the issue is the fucking moderator stepping in when they should not be stepping in. Just fucking let the man speak and give Candace the same amount of time. It's opening statements. This is an hour-long debate. Fucking just let it happen, Piers.
Love you showing me that you call me filth twice on the last show that you did with Pierce, a piece of filth. You're supposed to love your enemies. Is that turning the other cheek? And Pierce, you're an English gentleman. I've known you for many years. You allowed her to say that without even a piece of filth. When Jesus said that you're supposed to turn the other cheek, where have you ever turned the other cheek? When Jesus said that the meek shall inherit the earth.
Didn't Jesus say something? Am I going to have to look up Bible quotes now? Didn't Jesus say something about if you hurt little kids, you should have like a stone tied around your neck and thrown into the ocean or some shit like that? Jesus had a few lines that didn't seem so meek and mild.
Arrogance, the nonstop attack against Jews, the demonization. If you are a Christian, then I am the second coming of Christ.
Okay. That's 4 minutes you've spoken to. Out of fairness, Candace, if you want to use 4 minutes to respond, you can. All I would note, Rabbi Shmuley, is you've spent 4 minutes personally attacking Candace Owens. I set this up as a debate about what is happening with the Israel-Hamas war, anti-Semitism, and so on and so on. You've turned it all completely, immediately, into an ad hominem onslaught against Candace.
How could you possibly say that? You are speaking to a woman who says the Jews are a ring of demonic pedophiles, and you're saying that I have no right to defend my people. You know, Piers, you have to stop this once and for all. There was nothing ad hominem at all.
All right.
When Candace says that the black community
you've had your say.
is a bunch of crybabies,
okay.
Everything I said was policy. I could not disagree more.
Candace will now get the same amount of time, if you want it, Candace, to respond.
Thank you, Piers. And I don't think I really do need to respond to the ad hominem attacks. I think actually one of the things that plausibly unites people across all religions, Muslims, Jews, Christians, is that we all recognize that Rabbi Shmuley is unhinged. He's just mentally, in my view, unwell. And I don't say that as an attack. I say that as just a reality, because I've never seen someone just make things up out of thin air that were never said. And trying to screen that as a defense of Black people. The Black people will never accept Rabbi Shmuley after Michael Jackson put him on a list of people who he felt were ruining his life. So you can stop your pleas with Black America. They won't work. Now, going back to the context of what you've asked us to speak about today, you know, I think one of the things that the world is recognizing and what we've always recognized is that there are radical fringe sects that break out within every single religion, amongst every race. There's white supremacy, there's Black supremacy, there's radical Islam, there are all of these Christ cults around the world. And I think right now it's important for people to understand that radical Judaism is also a thing. And you're watching an example of it right now on your screen. The person sitting across from me or sitting next to me, I guess, posted on his Facebook page in 2016 a tribute to someone who he said was his mentor. That was Rabbi Menachem Schneerson. He said he was his mentor and his friend. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Rabbi Schneerson, there were some Jews who believed that he was and is the Messiah. So rejecting Christ, but believing that that rabbi was his Messiah. Now, you may remember in the news recently, there was this radicalized faction of the Lubavitch Orthodox community in Brooklyn that were digging tunnels in Brooklyn and hurling benches at police officers. Well, and by the way, this is per the Times of Israel, that faction of individuals are followers of Rabbi Schneerson. So again, you have Rabbi Shmuley who believes that that's his mentor. They believe that he was the Messiah. What is it? It becomes important to understand, what did Rabbi Schneerson preach? Well, he preached Jewish supremacism, the hatred of all non-Jews. And you don't have to take my word for it, because if I said it, they would say that's anti-Semitism. You should instead take the word of the two Jewish professors who translated his work. Those authors' names were Israel Shahak and Norton Mezvinsky. And their book was entitled Jewish Fundamentalism in Israel. From that book, we learned that Shmuley's mentor, Schneerson, describes the difference between a Jew and a non-Jew. And
so, like, for real though, this is a real question. This has been one issue with me that I don't like about Judaism, is the fact that they have a term, like a degrading type of term for non-believers, the goy, the goyim. Is there an equivalence in Christianity to that? That's a real question, and maybe I'll look this up. I don't know what I would search here for Google to pull up something for that. But no, it is that is one thing that's a little bit, it's not my cup of tea to have some other religion. It seems, at least the fucking mood in the air of Christianity is that non-believers are welcome, and because you want to convert them. You don't want to call a non-believer a fucking goy or a fuckface or something like that, because you want them to come to your church so that you can save them from hell, from eternal hell, and possibly get some of the money in your collection plate. So yeah, that's just one issue that I happen to, I get where she's coming from here a little bit. Not, and again, I'm not saying I agree with her on everything. Let's keep going here, but anyway.
He says, quote, thus we do not have a case of profound change in which a person is merely on a superior level. The body of a Jewish person is of totally different quality from the body of all nations of the world. And he talks about the substance of the Jewish body versus the substance of non-Jews, saying that the inner quality, quote, is so different and so great that the body should be considered completely different species. So that is a belief. And you can go through his speeches and you will see that he continually talks about how non-Jews should be treated, and that, again, we are a different species. This is what Rabbi Shmuley believes in. We have to come to terms with the fact that there are Jewish radicals, and it's incumbent upon the Jewish community to call them out. I'm glad that you brought up my rhetoric about Black Lives Matter, the organization, and which was basically allowing Black criminals to take to the street to burn down, to loot, and to riot in the name of racism, because it shows that I'm on equal footing here, that across the board, I do not support supremacism, whether it's coming from my community or whether or not it is coming from yours. And I think the entire world is now paying attention and wondering, what is going on in Israel? What is this government? Is this a radical fringe government? And many people are concluding.
Yeah, why is this? This is one thing, it's sad when people will automatically get called anti-Semitic when they're like, hey, I have an issue with the Israeli government. This is the government of a country. Yes, it happens to be a majority Jewish country, but I have an issue with the government, okay, and the way that they are pursuing this retaliation or defense, whatever you want to call it. That's what if you're being fair here, that is not an anti-Semitic concern, or to even say that I don't want people that are dual citizens of another nation to be within our government, sprinkled throughout our government at various levels, dual citizens. Why is that even allowed? I don't give a fuck whether the country is an ally supposedly of ours or not. It's a lot more. You could argue that it's a lot more likely that someone doesn't have full intentions for America first if they're dual citizens. Again, I'm not specifying what country. I'm just saying
that the answer to that question is yes.
Okay. Those are the two opening statements.
And I did look it up. Google, if you look up what Christians call non-believers, it is like the first things that come up seem to hint that Christians are a little more open to other religions and non-Christians, whether they're atheists or they practice another religion. And the fucking term goy or goyim, that means Gentile, and it's used in an insulting way. I mean, this is like the first few things that come up on Google, so anyway.
Rabbi Shmuley,
it's just for those scoring at home. I looked it up. All right. There's no insulting term that pops up for what Christians, a slang term for non-believers, Gentiles.
Let me ask you this.
Vodka soda.
Oh, fuck.
Wheatley, so good I drink it. This song right here.
You guys, I keep getting this ad, and I'm not going to drink this stuff. They want me to purchase a bottle. I won't even purchase a shot at a bar. I'm never going to drink this stuff. YouTube is just raping this company, charging them every time they get their ad played here. and I'm never going to drink this. Never.
Where are we now with this war? Because it seems that the people inside Israel are now beginning to come after Prime Minister Netanyahu, angry that his mission to save the hostages is simply not working. We saw 6 more executed at the weekend. Obviously, that's on Hamas. But the relatives of other hostages are saying, for God's sake, bring back the hostages before it's too late. And there's no sign of any deal being done to do that. And there's a lot of pressure on Netanyahu. Is his mission statement failing?
Yes, I will answer that in just a moment. But Piers, your guest just called me mentally unhinged. She called me filth twice on your show.
Bro, I told you guys. I told you we're not going to get anything good. You're not going to learn anything here. This is just a cat fight.
Show. You did not just say to her, Candace, can you stop the ad hominem attacks? Did I ever say anything? I stuck to policy. Can you at least just be fair and say, that's unnecessary, Candace, or is this 2 against 1?
Well, no. You spent 4 minutes lacerating her.
Calling me mentally unhinged, is that
you're sitting there to defend that charge?
Is that ad hominem?
You spent 4 minutes attacking her personally. She's perfectly entitled
Piers,
to
with all due
return the
respect,
favor.
with all due respect, when one of your guests calls someone else filth, I think that you, as an English gentleman, should step in. But let me answer your question. No less, the only thing of Christ that Candace Owens has actually fulfilled comes from Matthew chapter 10, verse 35, where Jesus says, I've come to separate and create conflict between a woman and her mother-in-law and father-in-law. My answer to your question about Gaza is that Lord Michael Farmer, a courageous British peer who happens to be Candace Owens' father-in-law, issued one of the most robust and beautiful defenses of Israel that any of us have read since October 7th. He said that, of course, there's a lot of terrible Palestinian casualties. God loves every Palestinian child as much as he loves a Jewish child. He said that Israel has no choice but to fight this war because Hamas hides in residential areas and under nurseries. He said that Israel...
This was, if I remember correctly, I saw this on Breaking Points that they brought this up, and I think that it's was fact checked as true. I saw a debate about this on is it Breaking Points? I think that was it. But one of the policies that the IDF has, or the way that they, I forget the name for this operation. There's a term for this. I forget what it is, but one of the things that they do is if they see someone that is Hamas and they've identified them as Hamas, or whether they were just involved in some attack or whatever the fuck, they actually wait for the Hamas member to go home to where their family is, and then they bomb the house where their family is. Like, this is a specific policy that they have with taking out some of these Hamas members. There's a term for this. I forget if it, God damn it, I wish I could remember. But this is one of the reasons why there's so many fucking innocent kids, civilians, women and children getting fucking blown up, is one of the IDF's policies. You follow Hamas to their house and then blow up the house so that you can kill their whole fucking family and no one in the family will retaliate. This is one of their operations.
The savagery of October 7th demands a response. He said that Israel is doing exactly the right thing. And he said that he's doing all this in response to a, quote, high-profile member of his family. The contempt to not even mention his daughter-in-law, Candace Owens, because he didn't want to say her name. And he didn't even say, I love my daughter-in-law, but because the British remember Hitler, they remember the Battle of Britain, they remember the V-1 and V-2 rockets. Candace Owens has actually now said that the Nazis were the good guys and it was the allies, the British, people like yourself, Piers, who engaged in the ethnic cleansing of 12 million people based on some documentary she watched called The Savage Peace on the BBC, which wasn't even about the Allies. She always distorts. It was about the Czechoslovakia, a country that no longer even exists. And as far as what she said about Michael Jackson, putting me on enemies list, that is a total
fabrication. It was invented by someone named Dieter Wietzner, who sued Michael Jackson for $64 million, tried to shake him down, and Michael had to pay him $4 million. I worked to save Michael's life. Candace Owens never met Michael Jackson. I was his rabbi for 2 years. I love him. I missed him. I tried to get him off of drugs. She said that I killed him. And talk about the contempt for people struggling with addiction, that she would say the Jews killed Michael Jackson. And with all due respect, Piers, you have not said that one of those things, that I'm a murderer, a man who doesn't have a speeding ticket, who doesn't have a parking ticket, is a murderer, and the police have to come and the FBI to protect me. Are you going to say?
Here's what I'm going to say to you, Rabbi.
This is like Gish galloping. He's filibustering. He was not going to shut the fuck up. You'd list 10 fucking things. Candace Owens can't even keep up with it. She'll respond to 2 if we're lucky. And then, you know, he's just basically puked all over the fucking table and left a mess for Piers Morgan to wipe up.
Shmuley, once again, you've just singularly failed to answer my question. So if you're just going to continue every time I ask you a question about the war, which is the point of the debate, to just launch into Candace or her family or whatever, that's your decision. But in the interest of fairness, every time you speak for 3-4 minutes, well, hang on. I'm now going to let Candace respond if you want to, Candace. Look, it is obviously a matter of public record that your father-in-law, Lord Farmer, did post on X what he posted. He concluded by saying, I point out I'm the Christian deputy chair of the Council for Christians and Jews. This was founded in 1942 as a bulwark against anti-Semitism. I mean, do you want to say anything about what your father-in-law...
Honestly, I don't know what to do with my hands in photos. That's why I always hold neutral. It's the...
I'm not going to drink this. I don't drink stuff out of cans. I don't drink stuff out of aluminum cans with plastic coating that comes off into the drink and then you drink it. I don't drink those.
Or posted or anything else that Rabbi Shmuley just said?
Yeah, I'm grateful that he brought that up. And because it's very disturbing to me to see him try to pretend that my father-in-law distanced from me or said something in favor of anything that Rabbi Shmuley is saying. He would never do that. It is very important to understand that, you know, he does support Israel, and he has reaffirmed his support for Israel. And you can imagine that within any family, you have disagreements about things, but fundamentally, it's all love, you know, and it's good for us to have these conversations. Prior to him posting the statement, I had just gotten back from vacation with him. Literally 48 hours earlier, there was something incredibly demonic about a person trying to use the Bible at the beginning of his statement, as he did, trying to quote scripture and immediately following it up by trying to pull a family apart. I mean, that is utterly unholy. And I think the question of holiness and what is holy is relevant to this discussion. I think this is a conversation that a lot of people are having as well. Look,
this is a cat fight, nonstop fucking personal beef, personal attacks disguised as a Israel-Palestine debate. This is fucking, oh fuck, man. We're almost 20 minutes in and we've learned nothing about Israel and Palestine.
Prior to October.
And this is what I was saying, that when I've heard of Candace Owens bring up the Israel-Palestine conflict before, she sounds like she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. I wouldn't doubt that both of these people, both Candace and Rabbi Shmuley, don't know shit about the conflict. All they know is like a few headlines from Twitter or something. You ask them some fucking question about it, and they will be as lost as Kamala Harris, okay? It's just like, so yes, they're both probably going to try to keep this in the personal attack realm and stay away from the facts about the conflict in Israel-Palestine.
7th, I don't think many people were engaged with what is happening in Israel. You know, we kind of all said the same thing. Israel is our friend and ally. I count myself among those people. Post October 7th, the world, and especially I would say Zionists in media, were demanding that we all pay attention. And when we began to pay attention, we didn't like what we saw. You cannot tell me to ever feel comfortable with 18,000 children being ruthlessly murdered. You can't get me to feel comfortable as a Christian with the amount of more explosives dropped, tons of explosives dropped on Gaza than were dropped in Hiroshima. This doesn't make sense to me. Gaza is 30 miles long, 7 miles wide. It's incredibly dense population. And this is, by the way, according to Haaretz, that 40,000 Palestinians have been murdered. I believe they're getting those numbers from the Gaza Health Ministry. And here's what I would like to say to you, Rabbi, since you're quoting scripture, okay? The one that's relevant to me is woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture, I think what's relevant is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley.
Oh, fuck. That's rough, man. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Rabbi, please beg Piers Morgan to tell her to calm down again. Please.
The fact that you would try to say, I am Jewish and this is what I believe, and do and say the things that you are doing. People can see and hear evil, and what you are doing right now is an...
Yeah, Steve Coco, I got a Nick pick in. What's up, bro? They're good. The Nick picks are good, fam.
Act of evil. The lies that you are telling, not just on me, but also on my family members, are a good example for the world to see what we are referring to when we call something radical Zionism.
Okay, Rabbi Shmuley.
Okay, and okay, thank you. And of course, Piers, there was nothing ad hominem about my being demonic. This is a 2 against 1 debate. I expected that.
Dude, I knew it. I knew he was gonna have an issue with her calling him demonic. I knew he was gonna ask the referee to step in on that and throw a flag. Holy fuck, what a pussy. Both of these two are just like not doing anything for their look right now. This is bad all the way around. This is one of those debates where no one wins, and not even the audience. We all lose here.
It's one debate.
And I will, excuse me, no, it's a 2 against 1
You've
debate.
You've made no attempt to answer my question.
No. Piers,
Candace,
let me speak.
Has been trying to answer my question.
Candace just said,
you're not.
Candace just said, Candace, filth, demonic. There's nothing ad hominem about that. You are correct. You're right, Piers. Candace Owens just said that Israel dropped more bombs on Gaza than on Hiroshima. Hiroshima was an atomic bomb, Candace. You know, why don't you just read Wikipedia? Israel has nuclear weapons. They've never used them, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Now let's look at Israel's justified defense.
She meant Dresden. The stupid bitch meant Dresden, okay? Yeah, it sounded weird when she said it. When I heard it just now, I was like, huh? Yeah, I don't know. She meant Dresden.
Israel admits, and even Hamas admits, to a 1-to-1 civilian to combatant ratio of civilian casualties, which is a tragedy. It shouldn't even be 1. But remember, Hamas fires their rockets from nurseries. The United States and Afghanistan had a 4-to-1 ratio of civilians murdered for every 1 combatant. In the Korean War, it was 5-to-1.
Yeah, all of these are very bad numbers. We can all agree on that. Yes. Does that make excuses for other countries?
In Iraq, it was at least 2-to-1. Israel has the lowest per capita ratio of combatants to civilians. Candace,
I don't even think that's true. I don't know if I should start looking stuff up. Guys, I thought this was gonna be like, I don't know what I thought this was gonna. It says I'm not a Holocaust denier in the fucking the caption, the title of this video. And then it says showdown, Rabbi Shmuley. I had no idea that this was going to turn into an Israel-Palestine debate, or I could have prepared. There's always these certain talking points that come up. I could have prepared a little bit more. I just thought we were going to watch some fucking debate with these two grown-ass babies, fucking, adult-sized babies wearing fucking Pampers, fighting over complete bullshit. I had no idea it was going to get serious.
Should acknowledge that. That is what we call a fact.
But you should hang on. You should also acknowledge then that there is a unique demographic in Gaza where of the 2 million people who live there, half of them are under 18. So that's a very different demographic to any of the other scenarios you're talking about. That is what's caused so much international opprobrium against Israel is the fact that so many children, pro rata in the civilian death.
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Have been killed. It's that people are so exercised about, and rightly, because what's happened here is obvious. Hamas, yes, they've embedded themselves in civilian territory. Yes, they've built all these tunnels. None of these things are to be disputed. But the problem with going after Hamas in the way that Israel has been.
So I just looked it up. I'm not going to screen share to this other page. We're just going to get right back to the debate real quick. But yeah, so it's not 1-to-1. But there's it's the first things that come up on Google when you look at the ratio of civilian to combatant death ratio. It's from 1.5 to 2. So 1 combatant for every 2 to 1.5 civilians. Yeah. Okay. We'll get back to the debate here.
Doing is that the collateral damage, as they would put it, to so many thousands of children has now tested the patience of the world to a degree that vast quantities of the world are against it and want this to stop.
I just want to also point out, I just thought about it, combatants. I really like to see, I guess I could look into it a little bit more. I want to focus on this while it's playing, the debate here, but combatants, I think, would probably include people that are not part of Hamas necessarily. Like if some little fucking kids, maybe some Hamas member, they tell them, hey, we'll give you this box of fucking cookies. We got all this, Hamas was, any time there are supply drops of food and stuff, a lot of the time, maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time Hamas will try to come up and take the supplies. So, if they tell somebody, oh, yeah, fucking, we'll give you a couple grenades and go throw them into that building there, and then we'll fucking give you whatever, it's like if people even throw rocks, they're probably considered combatants. So it doesn't really necessarily, unless I look into this more and prove myself otherwise, combatant does not seem to directly equivocate or equal a fucking member of Hamas.
That's the reality.
I think that's a very fair question.
Equate, sorry, not equivocate. Equate is the word I was looking for.
And I don't like whataboutism, but Candace Owens never spoke out once again.
Catastrophic. What's up, bro? What's up, dude? Thanks for checking out the stream. How's it going, fam? You're on the Facebook? What's up, dude? I'm trying to take charge here, Adam Wiley. Yeah, Kata, if you didn't see last night, bro, I did a stream about what's up, bro? Yeah, I did a stream about Holyoke Joe. He fucking flipped out on me again and sent me all these audio messages, and I told him, I was like, dude, I have to play these. It's so fucking funny. He's flipping out on me and shit. I don't know if you saw any of that last night, but it was a good show. A lot of people tuned in for that. So anyway, but yeah, I'm just reviewing this fucking debate here. It's a shit show. I thought the debate here was going to be about somebody about Candace Owens being a Holocaust denier, because that's what the fucking title says. And then Piers Morgan sets the debate up that as if it's going to be a debate about the Israel-Palestine conflict. And we're 21, almost 22 minutes into an hour-long debate, and we've gotten no good new facts or good points or arguments about the Israel-Palestine conflict. It's just personal attacks this whole fucking time. And that's probably why they put the title to this. I am not a Holocaust denier. This has to be something that comes up. But Piers Morgan probably knew damn well that if he posted this video, this debate, and labeled it as if it's an Israel-Palestine debate, that it would be considered clickbait, because we are getting nothing. We are learning nothing about the conflict here. This is just two fucking adult-sized babies fighting over stupid bullshit.
against Bashar al-Assad, who killed 600,000 Arabs, and he actually gassed to death children. He targeted them with mustard and poison gas. You remember that President Obama said that's a red line, and then he gave it to Putin to get rid of those weapons of mass
which was
destruction.
completely
God bless
wrong.
President Trump, who actually wait, just a second. President Trump, God bless him, actually fired 59 cruise missiles when Assad did that. It's funny because people say that President Trump is anti-Muslim. He's the only one who protected Muslim life. Piers, Hamas has ruled since 2006. They won an election jointly with the PA. They took the Palestinian Authority representatives and threw them off of rooftops. They then subjected the Palestinians, 1.5 million Palestinians of Gaza, to the most ruthless persecution that we've ever seen. They stole all their money. Ismail Haniyeh, who was assassinated in Tehran, is worth $4 billion. Now he's fighting with Erdogan, his kids, over who's going to inherit that. Khalid Mashal is worth $3 billion. You and I both know that the Palestinians of Gaza got triple the amount per capita, prorated for our times, of the Marshall Plan. All of that money was stolen to build tunnels. There isn't one bomb shelter. The reason why people are dying in Gaza is because that money was used to buy penthouses in Doha, Qatar. There isn't one bomb shelter that from Hamas. Hamas shoots and murders anyone who challenges their authority. They were elected in 2006 to a 4-year term. It's now 20 years later. Hamas specifically, and that's why they're being condemned by the Palestinians right now. They want Palestinian children to die because the more they die, the more you will condemn me and Israel. But let's remember, Piers, your parents are part of the greatest generation. Winston Churchill was told by the Americans, don't bomb German cities, Hamburg, Dresden, etc. at night. You can't see what you're bombing. Do what we Americans have, which is precision daytime bombing. And Churchill said, no, my pilots are more important. We need the RAF.
All right.
And he flattened German cities. And he is considered today the greatest British statesman of the 20th century.
By the way, the flattening of cities like Dresden was widely condemned at the time, including by many people in Britain, and led to the establishment of the Geneva Convention.
Dresden was the last month of the war, but before that, Hamburg and everything else was not condemned.
It led to the establishment of the Geneva Convention after World War II, specifically to stop that kind of thing happening again. So I'm glad you raised that example. Candace, you've got over 3 minutes.
So do you condemn Winston Churchill as a war criminal for Dresden?
No, absolutely not. No.
Why not? You just said that it was wrong.
This is one of those things like, this is like a similar argument or, line of logic when you say, I know that there is some fucking voter fraud. And then people respond, well, there's always some voter fraud, but it's not enough to sway the election. Type of thing. This is like, look at what happened in Dresden, and it's like, okay, so because we fucking bombed the shit out of Dresden, does that mean that we should just be slaughtering babies in fucking Gaza? No. Can we say that both are wrong? Yes.
As a war criminal for Dresden. Please, you said not, but why?
If you're both going to ask me the same question, let me be clear. Winston Churchill was not a war criminal, right? But some of the ways that
why not? He bombed Dresden and killed 25,000 people.
Yeah, he also saved the world from Adolf Hitler and the Nazis.
Oh, he saved the world. So Israel's saving the Middle East from Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Iran.
But it's not, though.
Hezbollah.
Israel's not doing that.
Thank you for answering my question. Case closed.
All right, let me go to Candace.
If I could just interject here, just to respond to that, I was going to say exactly what you said, Piers. Like, Dresden was considered a Holocaust. It was, in fact, a war crime. And there should be debates about what happened in Dresden. It was absolutely horrific that a bunch of Christians were skipping off, on the eve of Ash Wednesday. And then they were quite literally reduced to ashes. It is wrong. And the fact that you are having to reference a war crime to justify what's happening in Gaza is not a point for you. It's completely awful. When people say, oh, well, look at what we did. Look at all these other horrific things we did. Why do you care about this horrible thing that's happening? I don't even understand that logic. It's completely ridiculous. Look, there is no person in good conscience who should be comfortable with the amount of death that's happening in Gaza. And yes, if you are going to correlate it to Dresden, that would be a fair comparison, except much more has been dropped on Gaza than was dropped in Dresden. So is it fair to call what's happening in Gaza a Holocaust? Is that what we're looking after when you have this nonstop onslaught? And it's completely ridiculous to say, oh, well, this is happening because of Hamas. Let's be very clear. It is happening because the Israeli government will not stop bombing them. Okay. So you had a very sympathetic audience all around the world, myself included, when October 7th happened. There was not a single person that should or could justify the terrorist acts that was enacted by Hamas. But the collective punishment that is being assigned to the Gazans, the Palestinians living in Gaza, is also unacceptable. And the entire world should condemn it, and it should be made to stop. And I do believe that a radical fringe has taken hold of Israel. And further evidence of that, by the way, is that we are not even allowed to critique Israel without having people like Rabbi Shmuley, which I never said he threatened to murder me, but he has threatened me for 2 years, essentially trying to bully people into their belief that they have a right.
You never said that I threatened to murder you? We're going to post.
No, I never said that you threatened to murder me. Don't cut me off. I did not cut you off.
Okay, I did not cut you off. Go ahead, please.
I did not.
We were just starting to get down to some fucking facts about the goddamn conflict, and we're going back to personal stuff. Holy fucking shit.
Cut you off. Okay. The point is that now what's happening across America is that you have Zionist organizations that are threatening and bullying people because people are taking a stance against this act against humanity. What they're doing is inhumane in Palestine. And so what they're doing is they're saying this person should get fired. This person should lose their job. The Zionist Federation of Australia just asked for me to have my visa banned simply because I don't support what Israel is doing. And if that is what I have to pay, if ultimately what happens, I get my visa banned because Zionism has a lot of money in media, then so be it. It's less of a price than the children in Gaza are paying right now. And as a Christian, I will never support what Bibi Netanyahu is doing.
Right, and what's interesting to me, Rabbi Shmuley,
may I respond?
hang on. Yes, but let me just say again, the question I put to you earlier, it's not just people outside Israel who are now heavily criticizing Netanyahu and his government. It is people inside Israel in massive numbers. And so my question for you is, why? Why are so many people inside Israel taking to the streets to demand that Netanyahu stop this war?
Yeah, and some of the, like I said, some of the tactics that they're using in the war seem to, I mean, there's God, I should have done, I again, guys, I had no idea that it was going to go down this fucking path, but yeah, like there was controversy about the way that they were moving civilians around and telling civilians in Gaza that they could move to this one area and then they would get bombed while they were moving to the safe zone, and shit like that was happening. Like, come on. Let's not pretend like they're only bombing the buildings that they see Hamas firing from. Oops, that was a nursery. Like, no, that's not the only thing that's going on here.
No, they never said he should stop the war. They said there should be a ceasefire to release the hostages because Israel is a cult. Don't interrupt me, please, Candace. Because Israel is a culture of life. And that's why Israel got into this mess for October 7th. They traded 1,000 murderers, including Yahya Sinwar, who Israel saved at Soroka Hospital in Beersheba when he had a brain tumor. The Hamas Hitler, who's the architect of October 7th, Israel saved his life. It's a culture of life, even for Palestinian murderers. They traded 1,000 for Gilad Shalit. You remember that. And now a whole group is saying, even if it leads to another October 7th, I need my children home. I understand that. Piers, I have 2 sons fighting in this war. I understand the dangers that are being faced. No one's saying to stop the war, not to destroy Hamas. They're saying call a ceasefire to release the hostages because of their execution. But I must respond. First of all, Candace just said that Israel dropped more bombs on Gaza than on Dresden. What's your source for that? Do you know that in Dresden, there were 1,000 Lancaster bombers sent over 2 nights by Churchill, and then 800 American, that's 1,800 bombs. What's your source that Israel dropped more than on Dresden?
So it's just interesting because you realize that you use Dresden as an example.
No. Answer the question. You just made Piers. This is deflection.
I said more tons of explosives.
You said that Israel. You just made a blood libel against the Jewish state. Dresden
We
was
can't keep doing
1,000
this.
Lancaster
We can't keep
bombers
doing this.
over
And
2
this,
nights.
And this gets into,
I am asking you, what is your source?
This is getting very
boring. The answer. Okay, don't interrupt me, please. The answer is Pierce. My turn. Correct.
Yeah, I've never looked this up whether they actually dropped more than in Dresden or killed more civilians than in Dresden. I think I mean, she did say that, and if she doesn't know that for sure, then yeah, she's a fucking idiot for bringing that up. But I mean, the point is that we are comparing it to Dresden, and Dresden was fucking awful.
Rabbi Shmuley, you can't ask someone a question and then refuse to let them answer.
So I asked for a source. I didn't ask for a question.
Go ahead.
It is
We've heard the
absolutely
question.
absurd.
Candace.
I'm going to respond to what you are saying. This tactic of when anybody brings up
yeah, fucking catastrophic. Yeah, bro. He's got to put his hand up there. He's you know, he's fucking casting spells, trying to fucking shut people up by putting his hand up. If he could, I think if they were in person, he would literally be trying to cover her mouth with his hand.
anything that Israel is doing is wrong, you get to just scream blood libel and anti-Semitism.
Don't interrupt her.
Oh my gosh, it's a blood libel. It is not a blood libel to talk about the amount of death and the tons of explosives that have been dropped on the civilians in Palestine, okay? That is not a blood libel against Jewish people.
I told you guys, she doesn't know shit about this conflict. I don't know if she knew that that's what the debate was going to be about.
A nasty and perverted tactic,
what is your
which
source?
essentially says, I don't have to debate anymore because I get to just call everybody a person who's accusing me of blood libels. Okay, truly, what is happening right now is that the blood of Palestinians is being shed. Okay, that is not a libel against the Jews. That is a fact and a reality against Bibi Netanyahu and this government, which has gone extreme in their response to October 7th. So stop this tactic.
Understood. Pierce, can I now have my turn again? All I asked was the source. Clearly, she has none. It was invented out of whole cloth. That's.
Oh, God.
Before her dad let you sit in his chair.
I can move. I don't drink beer. You fucking idiots.
What a blood libel is. A blood libel is when Candace Owens says that the actual medieval blood libel, that Jews killed Christians and drank their blood, she actually believes that. She said, please don't interrupt me.
I will find you the source.
That there were Christian bodies found all over Europe.
Get that source, Candace. Let's do this.
When she said that I am not trying to kill her, we will post right after this, where she said it at least on 8 occasions. That's why she's being investigated by the FBI. Because you can lie about me, you can call me filth, and Pierce won't, and you can call me psychotic. I've never said that about you. But what you can't do is incite violence against my family. You have repeatedly said I'm trying to kill you. You said the Jews killed JFK. You said if the Jews killed JFK,
you said all this earlier.
We couldn't protect the president. Okay, wait one second.
Can we get back to the debate
for a moment? No, wait. Let's just go back for a moment. No, Pierce, I have to respond to things.
Would you like a
when
source?
Candace says that it is demonic.
You wanted the source from Candace.
I never got. I never got between.
Rabbi Shmuley, you wanted the source from Candace.
She said it was demonic because you used Christian scripture against her. That's what she was. She said you were demonic because of that.
I think she has one. Well, why don't you let her answer? I think she has one.
Let me fact check this source as well. So 70,000
Yes, I want to see where Israel dropped more bombs on Gaza than Dresden.
70,000 tons of explosive have been dropped on the Gaza Strip. Let's see how many tons of explosives were dropped on Dresden. 1 second.
You mean she said it and now she's fact checking it? You're kidding me, right?
Well, you're asking me to give you the direct source live, and I'm going to look it up for you. I don't
have a computer on me. I don't have a computer on me. This is ridiculous.
Look at this. Look at this bullshit.
Finish.
This is a cheat sheet. This is absurd.
Let her answer the question.
Go ahead.
Candace.
So 2,700 tons of bombs were dropped on Dresden in an 800 bomber air raid. And that is according to Britannica, the encyclopedia.
And what was the tonnage of bombs dropped in Gaza?
70, right?
In Gaza, it was 70,000 tons of explosives were dropped in the Gaza Strip. And I got that from CNN.
through the duration of the war today.
Okay.
Is that the time scale?
Yes.
Okay. So Rabbi Shmuley,
which
that would
they're
seem to
saying
be
has surpassed
So let's be clear.
Dresden,
So
Hamburg,
over
and
11
London.
So she was right. Oh fuck, this is funny.
months, she's comparing an 11-month war to a single night in Dresden. That's clearly absurd. I'm glad that she has her cheat sheet.
Fuck, dude, he just got completely pie-faced right now, and he's like saying, "Oh well, you know, it wasn't a fair comparison to begin with, but I fact-checked her on it, and she ended up being right." Fuck, man, that's gotta hurt.
Computer in front of her, but notice she made this.
Well, you called it a blood libel,
not knowing what she was talking about.
What she
Just a
said.
moment, please.
Hang on.
He asked for a source, people. You guys remember, he asked for the source. He asked for this, okay? And now he's mad when he got it.
Hang on. What she said, to be clear, was that the Israeli...
It's also in the New York Times.
The Israeli Defense Force had dropped more bombs on Gaza than were dropped on Dresden. That is true. Do you accept that, Rabbi Shmuley?
You know, Pierce. I find this an
accept it?
astonishing debate.
You ask.
Wait. First
Do you accept that's true?
First of all, I don't. Wait. What do you mean it's true? Because she said it's true?
No. Do you accept that's true?
Fact checkers?
The New York Times says it's true.
Is this a serious show? Wait. Every time I try to speak,
you asked for a source. You called it a blood libel. You asked for a source. Fortunately, we had time to look it up.
Candace is ready to get petty, bitch. Let's do this.
Excuse me, you are interrupting me. She made a definitive statement. She admitted she had no source. She had to then use her computer. It's absurd that she has a computer doing this.
You know what? No, this is fair game. She heard that, and I know I've heard that too. And it's not something that I've fact checked, but I've heard that. I've watched so many debates on this shit. I've heard this 100 fucking times, and I don't think it was ever contested when I heard it. And Candace Owens fucking brings it up, and he asked for a source because he thought it was bullshit. And here we are. We went right down the path Shmuley wanted to go down, and he is not liking where it's leading.
But she was right because she had to look it up. 1 second.
But she was right.
Now she's saying that over an 11-month war. No, we don't know that she's right because your fact checkers haven't checked it, and my fact checkers haven't checked it. But let's just go back for a moment. Israel was attacked in the most savage way, and women were gang raped, their breasts were cut off. Candace recently had a guest on who even denies that women were raped. Now she's saying it's in the New York Times. She said the other day that the New York Times lied and fabricated about the mass rape of women. She had the former press secretary of Bernie Sanders who denies that. Now she suddenly likes the New York Times. You are speaking to the #1 critic of the New York Times in America. And by the way, this is a typical thing. Candace will say there's no racism in America. Then she will sue, which she did, the Stanford, Connecticut Board of Education for a $40,000 settlement against racism. She then went on a show and fabricated and said it wasn't a settlement. It was actually for tutors for 1 month. You tell me which tutors are paid $40,000 per month. She will say that I have no right to bring up her family. First of all, I didn't. It was her own father-in-law who condemned her. But she can bring up Brigitte Macron. She can bring up Emmanuel. She can destroy their marriage. Obsess, and you were very good on that, Pierce, challenging her. She can destroy other people's marriages. And you know what's also interesting?
But hang on.
Wait.
Don't just keep talking.
One final point. The day after October 7th, she said nothing for a few days, never condemned it.
Yeah.
And when you asked her on the show, she said, Pierce, I never talk about anything international. Is Brigitte Macron an American?
But
so she can speak about the genitals of the First Lady of France for months, but not condemn the gang rape of Jewish women?
I've already said to Candace, I don't believe a word of the Brigitte Macron thing. What I would say about what you've just quoted Lord Farmer as saying, you said that he condemned Candace in the statement he put on X. He didn't condemn her. I've just read it again, and there's no condemnation of his daughter-in-law. He simply set
You're
out...
You're kidding. Read the first line.
In view of public comments from a high-profile member of my family, I want to put my own views.
And watch in Moscow always get the mule. Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly.
On anti-Semitism and Israel's current military campaign in Gaza on public record. Where's the condemnation?
Thank you very
of
much.
Candace?
Thank you. So
Where's the
it was. I get what Shmuley say. He probably remembered that tweet wrong. He probably thought it was a little bit more steamy than it actually is. But he's saying that it was like a dog whistle type of condemnation. But he's not technically. This is not condemning what Candace said. He's just saying he disagrees. That's it. He's not condemning the woman.
The nation.
Thank you. So let's get the timeline. Candace says she was on vacation
When did he condemn
with her father-in-law 2 days before. Wait,
When
just one
did he
second.
condemn her?
Stephen Coco, yes, classic heat reversal. This is fucking pro wrestling right here for sure. This is pathetic. Again, we're back. Guys, how long have we... This was a debate about the Israel-Palestine conflict. We're over halfway through. How many minutes have we talked about Israel-Palestine? Maybe two, right? 37 minutes in. We've gotten 2 minutes of real back and forth about the conflict, and we've regressed back into fucking bullshit.
You and I can read between the lines on any press
I'm
statement.
not reading between the
Number one,
lines.
she says, in
You
view
said
of
he condemned
a
her.
high profile.
I've just shown you he didn't condemn her.
Who gives a fuck? How many babies are dead? Let's get back to that.
He absolutely condemned her.
No, he didn't.
doesn't once say it's my
He gave his
daughter-in-law
own
Candace, and I love her, but we disagree. Number two, he went on to say that Israel has every right. He was distancing himself for her repulsive putrid
he gave his own opinion.
anti-Semitism.
He gave his own opinion.
Why did he start by saying, in light of a high-profile
He gave his
member of
own
my
opinion.
family?
He didn't condemn her. I didn't even name her.
He distanced himself from Candace.
Let me ask
Owens.
Candace a different question, which is this. Candace, why is it, do you think, that so many people in the Jewish community believe that you are anti-Semitic?
I think that's actually a very good question. And just to go back, I'm going to answer your question. I just want to make sure people are recognizing, because he said a lot of stuff there. He's not able to counter. He essentially tried to hold me to looking up the sources. We've now found the sources, and it's the BBC, it's the New York Times, and it is the Euromed Human Rights
We have
Monitor that
found no
estimated
sources, and we'll fact check it after when you looked it up
70,000
during the show.
tons
I'm
of
sorry.
bombs
Go
were
ahead.
dropped on Gaza. And per the BBC, the British aircraft dropped 4,000 tons of bombs on Dresden. So just for clarity,
In a
you can
single
look
night,
it up.
not
He
11
called that a
months.
blood
In a
libel,
single
and
night,
it's
correct.
Please don't cut me off. I have not cut you off. He called that a blood libel because that is a strategy, which is meant to just distract people from the truth or looking into it. So you say everything you say is a blood libel. Now, to answer your question, Piers, I think that's a very good question. And the answer for that is because the media as an entity has been basically mining Jewish pain, the history of their pain, by taking people out of context and presenting things that are as a fact that is simply untrue, things that I've never said. We are watching right now, and that's why I'm grateful for you to provide this opportunity. You are watching Rabbi Shmuley do this live, right? When we talk about yellow journalism and people that take things out of context and try to present it to people with a bunch of hysteria and go, oh my gosh, Candace said this. Oh my gosh, Candace is a Holocaust denier. Oh my gosh, he's called me all of these names, and he doesn't have a single fact in there. They just know that if they say those things, it's a trigger. It is reminiscent of exactly what was done for Black Americans for a very long time. They have now since changed their perspective on me, but for a long time, they thought that I legitimately hated being Black and hated the color of my skin because I stood against Black Lives Matter as an organization, and I stood against—
I'm speeding this up a little bit. This is actually retarded that this... I could have sat through this whole debate and not been so shocked about how little they're going to talk about the conflict. I could have done that had the debate not been set up that was the prompt. That was the topic. It's what it was supposed to be, is the Israel-Palestine conflict. And it's been nothing but personal bullshit this whole fucking time. I don't care about who tweeted what, whose fucking granddad tweeted what they fucking put on Facebook. I do not give a fuck. Let's get back to the topic.
Against what Black Lives Matter was doing. And the media made them hysterical. She's a Black person who doesn't even want to be Black, and she's a Black white supremacist. They bought that narrative because when the media lies, a lot of people accept that what they're reading is true. But of course, I didn't hate Black Americans. I didn't hate anything other than BLM abusing and mining Black pain, going back and saying, well, it's going to be just like slavery, to distract people from what was ultimately just a fraudulent organization that was actually going to bring more harms to Black Americans in the end. And that's how I feel about the state of Israel and everything they're doing. Ultimately, I believe it's going to to yield more anti-Semitism. It's going to make people associate what Bibi Netanyahu is doing to all Jews around the world. And so I think it's important for them to realize it's the same exact tactics of manipulation, the same exact name calling and ad hominem attacks that is not based in fact and not based in reality, but based in not wanting to answer the fair critiques that people have about what Israel is doing. But that's a very good question.
Okay, Rabbi Shmuley, I mean, there's some validity to that argument, I think, is that too often I do see people immediately branded anti-Semitic if they dare to criticize the Israeli government. There's a very big difference between criticizing a government and its actions and a whole people, which is what anti-Semitism is. And do you accept that difference?
The beauty of Israel is its democracy. You just said that hundreds of thousands of people are marching against Benjamin Netanyahu. I welcome those protests. It shows that even during war, listen, in 1864, the United States had a presidential election. Some people wanted to cancel it, saying that how could you elect Lincoln when there's a civil war? And they still have the election. Israel's the same. Let's just go through Candace Owens' history of anti-Semitism.
I will let you do that. I will let you do that, and she can respond. But on my specific point, though, do you accept that it's perfectly possible, and indeed it should be in a robust democratic society, a central tenet of this, that Israel's government and its prime minister should be criticized by anyone who chooses to criticize them, without the people who criticize them being branded anti-Semitic?
Of course. I am a very close friend of Netanyahu, and I criticize him a lot.
Wasn't sure if he would actually get him to agree with that. I'm a little bit surprised.
Allowing Qatar is one of the most duplicitous, evil governments in the world. They house all of the leaders, the billionaire leaders of Hamas. I criticize Benjamin Netanyahu, my dear friend, for allowing money to go into Hamas in the belief that they can be bought off of. I criticize the Israeli government for not recognizing the Armenian genocide, something that Candace Owens blames the Jews. She actually says that Kemal Ataturk was led by the Jews to the Armenian genocide. By the way, the Armenian genocide took place under the Ottoman Turks, not Kemal Ataturk. She has no sense of history, and she just fabricates content.
Okay, let's
go through her history of anti-Semitism.
Yes, you said you had specifics of Candace Owens being
anti-Semitic.
What are those examples?
Okay. You see, the Jewish community did not want Candace Owens to be anti-Semitic. This is actually a tragedy that a woman gifted by God with such eloquence has decided to become a purveyor of hate. And when she said in 2018 that she has no issue with Hitler because if he was a nationalist, but then he wanted to go beyond our borders, even then we didn't call her an anti-Semite. That's an absurd thing to say, that you had no issue with Hitler. Hitler, even domestically by then, had enacted all the Nuremberg laws.
Okay, guys, this is an old quote. He just jogged my memory. There was a thing with Candace Owens talking about Hitler, and it was completely misrepresented everywhere on Twitter and stuff. I forget, she got heat for some quote about Hitler, and it was completely taken out of context. It was some lecture or some public speaking event where this got brought up, and I forget what the point was, but she wasn't, it wasn't like she was supporting Hitler, and people really painted it as if she meant that. And that's an old clip, though. I can't believe he's bringing this up. But yeah, that was like probably 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
There was already the November 9th, 1938.
Hang on. Okay, let's clarify. Let's take these one at a time. What do you believe she said about Adolf Hitler in the clip you're talking about?
She said that there was no issue with Hitler except for the fact that he went beyond his borders. If he was a nationalist,
let me play the clip.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. They got the clip. Holy fuck. Let's do this. I fucking knew it. I knew that. Watch it, guys. Watch.
No, but my point is, no one called her.
In the interest of fairness, I'm going to play the clip so that viewers who've never heard it can hear what actually got said.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets the definition.
Yes, it's about nationalism. And she said it's okay, we'll let it play. But I think she brings up Hitler in talking about nationalism, but says she supports nationalism, not the extent that fucking Hitler took it to, or something like that.
Gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism. So in thinking about how it could go bad down the line, I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your country's identity and to make sure that what's happening here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the decrease in the birth rate that we're seeing in the UK, is what you kind of want to avoid. So I don't have anything problem. I have no problems with nationalism. It's globalism that I try to avoid.
So Candace, on that specific point,
if you guys notice, this was before Charlie Kirk had his face inflated with a Fix-A-Flat. I think that's what happened to his face. I'm not exactly sure. We're going to need to fact check that too. But something happened to Charlie Kirk's face that it got completely distorted. I think it got injected with something. I don't know. But anyway, look at how long ago this was. He looks thin here. His face he's almost handsome.
the National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism.
So, Candace, on that specific point, would you say that Rabbi Shmuley has categorized it correctly or not?
He's just openly lying, and that's why he didn't want you to play the clip. I was in the UK, by the way. I was at the Royal Mobile Club. There were Jewish journalists in the room, and nothing was written about it until months later when somebody was working on a hit piece about me. I was answering a question when they were saying, how can we just embrace the word nationalism when it sort of has this dirty feel? And I was just essentially saying that I actually don't have an issue with nationalism. I think it's totally fine to be a British nationalist, be an American nationalist. And the problem is that it's wrongly attributed. That word, I think people instantly associate it with Adolf Hitler. And I would argue that he wasn't actually a nationalist because obviously he invaded Poland and he went beyond German borders. I didn't even mention Jewish people. I didn't mention the Holocaust. And suddenly you have people like Rabbi Shmuley who are pretending that I got up there and I defended Adolf Hitler. It's just, this isn't
that is not what you said.
And this is why I say right now, please don't cut me off. Please do not cut me off. A huge issue that you have right now is this dishonesty. If you really want to understand why Israel is facing a PR crisis, why Zionism right now to people doesn't feel good and they don't want to associate themselves with it, is because it seems like it takes so many lies to maintain. There's no reason to misrepresent what I said and to tell people that I support Adolf Hitler, other than the fact that you want people to hate me. And so I'm deeply appreciative that you guys have that clip ready to go.
Well, you may respond to what you just said after that clip. Now you watched it.
Okay. She keeps on saying lying. I never said you shouldn't play the clip. I'm actually happy you did. She said if Hitler had only focused on domestic policy, she would have had no issue with him. His domestic policy was to the Kristallnacht, burned down 3,000 synagogues in a single night domestically. That was not in Poland. That was not in Czechoslovakia. His domestic policy was the 1934 Nuremberg laws. His domestic policy was a complete dictatorship where he destroyed the Bundestag and subjected and created Dachau under Hitler. So those are the historical facts. But what I said was, even then, the Jewish community gave her a pass. She explained it. One mistake, people make mistakes. Here's her.
Yeah, this is the thing, though. So he is you know what? He is kind of right in just the true facts of what she said. She did kind of say, like, the issue was he wanted to expand his policies beyond fucking Germany, outside of Germany. And it's sort of, you have to be, though, this is the issue, is you have to be giving the most bad faith interpretation of what she said to gather from that Candace Owens thought it was okay for Hitler to abuse the Jews that lived in Germany. That is the most bad faith interpretation of what she said. The spirit of what she said was absolutely just to defend nationalism. Okay, and that it had a bad rap just because it's associated with Hitler. That was the whole point of what she was getting at, and he's spinning it as if she's condoning the murder of all the Jews in fucking Germany. Good job, Rabbi.
History of anti-Semitism. She's not going to be barred from going into Australia because of anything she said about Israel. That is a fabrication. She's going to be barred. Australia is my wife's country, born in Sydney. She's going to be barred to go to Australia because she's a Holocaust denier, because a 100-year-old victim of Yosef Mengele, the angel of death's experiments, came forward and said, you are going to traumatize me all over again. She actually said that Mengele's...
It's a good Slayer song, guys. Angel of Death. Martyr to the kingdom of the dead. Seditious. Surgeon of demise. Sable of the noble's blood. Destroying. Without mercy, defending the Aryan race. Surgery, with no anesthesia, fear the knife pierce you intensely. Inferior, no use for mankind, stripped out screaming not to die! Angel of Death!
Experiments. The fourth worst person in Nazi Germany after Hitler.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth.
Martyr to the kingdom of the dead!
Survival skills.
Oh!
Should you become stranded?
Goebbels, Mengele. Where it was a fabrication. She's an out-and-out Holocaust denier. And Australia, God bless them, took in so many survivors after the war, including my wife's family from Slovakia.
Well, let me ask Candace now.
She said that the Mengele experiments were false. Go ahead.
Let me ask Candace.
Look, guys, we have an Israel defender cringe Slayer attempt. Look, I got a dry throat and I'm sucking on a nicotine toothpick. It gets your throat a little scratchy. Sadistic, surgeon of demise, sadist of the noble's blood. I forgot the lyrics, okay? That's why I tripped up at that part. God damn, give me a break. Impromptu Slayer vocals. Get the fuck out of here. I bet you sing real well.
Candace Owens now, two things. One, are you a Holocaust denier, or do you accept the 6 million Jews?
No, don't leave, though. Thank you for checking out the stream. Please like and subscribe. I could use the support. I'm fighting against the algorithms. I got deleted. My page got deleted like 2-3 years ago. I'm fucking trying, guys. I'm trying.
Killed by the Nazis and the Holocaust? And secondly, do you believe that Joseph Mengele did what he is reported to have done and has been since World War II ended?
Thank you for those questions. No, absolutely. I am not a Holocaust denier. This is, again...
For real, though, fucking Raji Garman. Have you heard what I haven't heard the Slayer version that recently, but fucking, who was it? Mike Patton with the Melvins. Have you heard that version of, so it's like a Slayer medley or something. But anyway, there's a live version where they go through, Raining Blood and fucking Angel of Death. They play like really good parts of different Slayer songs with Mike Patton doing the vocals. He's fucking awesome. All right, well, we're getting back to it here.
Another fabrication based off of a monologue that I did in which I was putting pressure on the American government to explain why it is a fact that we learned all of these things about the horrific things that Nazi scientists did. And to be clear, Piers, I did not even mention Joseph Mengele's name in this skit at all. I spoke about all the things that we learned, that we were told over the years, some of which ended up being rebutted. And, there were tons of, that part doesn't matter. The point is, the end conclusion of that is that the CIA, via an operation known as Operation Paperclip, took the Nazi scientists and brought them to America, where they continued horrific experiments on Americans.
What? Does that mean our government likes Nazis? Does that mean our government's anti-Semitic? They brought the look. No, we know good scientists when we see them. Okay.
That's the full context of that. So they pulled out a statement, one sentence where I said, we've heard all of these sorts of things that they've done, cut people in half, sewed them back together. And I said, that sounds like a ridiculous waste of time. And when you pull that clip up by itself, it sounds like I'm just diminishing all of these stories, when in reality, I'm saying, let's take everything at face value. Let's say everything we've ever heard was true. Why on earth would the American government acquiesce to bringing these scientists over to America? And as a fact, Dr. Mengele was not one of the scientists which was brought over to America. So
but just to be clear, you accept, hang on, I'll come to you, Rabbi Shmuley. To be clear, you accept the Nazis murdered 6 million Jews in the Holocaust?
Yeah, I have never once in any of my appearances
I'm just asking you to clarify.
denied the Holocaust atrocities, ever.
And you accept that Joseph Mengele was a despicable man who perpetrated horrendous crimes?
Not one more, not one less. 6 million exactly.
Experimenting on Jewish people when they were still alive.
All of the scientists, the Nazi experiments that were done were horrific. And that's why I was saying they were so horrific that it makes you go, why on earth would the American government in this clandestine operation bring over the Nazi scientists who then became a part of our CIA and continued experiments onto America through to the 60s and the 70s? And I was quoting what those experiments were that was done throughout the Korean War.
Rabbi Shmuley, your response.
And I read it.
After this debate, we will post every single clip. That was a complete and utter fabrication. What she said was that she doubts that any of this happened because it was, as she just said, a waste of time. The whole Holocaust was a waste of time. Hitler had no winter equipment for his soldiers in Stalingrad under General Paulus in 1942 because the boxcars were taking Jews to Auschwitz. You see, that is what hatred is, Candace. It's where you hate so much that it becomes self-destructive. It's what's happening to you. You're a very gifted, eloquent broadcaster. You are self-destructing before America's eyes because you have some issue with the Jews, not with Israel. So let me continue. You actually said that Theodore Herzl was a Frankist. By the way, when you attack Frankists as a bunch of Jewish pedophiles, you forget to mention they all became part of your religion. They all converted in 1757 to Catholicism. You always omit that. But you said that Theodore Herzl was a Frankist.
Oh, yup. The Catholics be touching the little boys' wieners too, guys. He got you there.
And you said he set up the state of Israel as a refuge for pedophiles. This is before Gaza. This is before Rafah. As a refuge for Jewish pedophiles. You always refer to Jews as pedophiles. It's the main word you use about Jews. And every historian knows that what began in Norwich in 1099 with the first blood libel, where the Jews were falsely accused of taking a Christian child and drinking his blood, you actually believe that. You said that Christian bodies, this is before Rafah, this is before Israel, that Christian bodies.
What if it was a Christian child, but they gave him a circumcision? And that the technique that they use with the with the sucking, is that where this stemmed from? You guys know what I'm talking about? The sucking, the circumcision, and then the sucking. That can we agree that that's not a good idea? We should leave some practices way back in the Stone Age. Can we all agree with that at least? Is that anti-Semitic?
Bodies were found all over Europe. And when you speak about pedophilia, it's funny, you just converted to Catholicism. In 2002, Pope John Paul II, a pope that you would probably like, he was very conservative. He was a great man, great friend of the Jewish community, recognized the state of Israel, sent an ambassador in 1994. He apologized, very frail, to the world Catholic community, saying that at least 2% of all Catholic priests were pedophiles. Later, Pope Benedict XVI apologized again. I met Pope Benedict, a great man, great friend of the Jewish community.
That's probably a low number. That's probably an understatement.
He said it was 4%. Then Pope Francis raised it probably even higher, 6%. We know 1 million people, almost 1 million people, children in France alone, according to the French government, were abused by Catholic priests. But you've never once condemned Catholic pedophilia. Everyone knows it was the biggest scandal in the world. But only the Jews are pedophiles. Is that anti-Semitism?
Okay, let me ask Candace, do you condemn pedophiles in the Catholic Church, Christian pedophiles.
Yeah, he's just lying again. Actually, on my show, I spoke extensively about Frankism, and I told people that there was a conversion into the Catholic faith. And one of the things that I believe is that all of the Abrahamic religions have been infiltrated by Satanists, and that is what I've said. So they decided to pull apart only the piece where I'm talking about Judaism.
She might be right there, guys. You know what? She might be right there. If your religion is, you know, you like killing babies and blowing people up for land and stuff, you know what? All I gotta say is, it sounds like a bad idea from Satan's head, Satan himself, to have 3 different Abrahamic religions that just want to fucking kill each other. That sounds satanic to me. I know I'm crazy. I don't practice a religion, okay? I probably sound crazy saying that, but the idea of Satan, that just it aligns so perfectly to have 3 Abrahamic religions that just want to fucking kill each other. It sounds like a satanic idea, okay?
And not where I'm speaking about all of the faiths having been infiltrated, and speaking about how it's important for everyone to recognize this so that you can realize that there is this sort of satanic cult that's operating within all of the faiths. And I think that they use Christians and they use Jews and Muslims as well. I've said that on my show multiple times, so he's just absolutely lying about that. I think the difference here is that you'd be hard pressed to find a Catholic that would in any capacity defend pedophilia. Now, regarding what he is saying that I said Judaism is filled with pedophiles, that is objectively nonsense. I am a Christian. I'm aware of what the first 5 books of my Bible are. That would be me insinuating that, okay, well, the first 5 books of my Bible are inspired by pedophilia. That's absolutely false. What I said, and I'm hopeful that this is something that the rabbi will agree with, is that
it probably is, though, Candace. That's your problem. Sorry, anybody watching. I don't need anyone getting offended here. I'm just calling them like I see them, okay? It's got to be what you expect from me at this point.
is a fact that Jewish pedophiles, American Jewish pedophiles, escape and run and hide in Israel, where they are given safe harbor by the government. That is a fact. They will not extradite our pedophiles. That is an absolute nonsense, given the many billions of dollars that we give to Israel, that we can't get back the men that are raping children, okay? And I can't imagine a single person that would think otherwise, that is not a nonsense and that we should not be giving back those pedophiles. And to be clear, it wasn't Candace Owens who researched and came up with this. It was an incredible Jewish organization that looked into this, talked about how wrong it was, and brought it into the mainstream media. If you don't like that Israel is harboring pedophiles, that's not on me. That is on the state of Israel, okay? Again, I am condemning the state of Israel for harboring American pedophiles and not extraditing them. Do you have a disagreement there, Rabbi? If so, please share.
Thank you, Candace. Not only is that an absolute lie and fabrication against Israel, the most famous example, the country that will now bar you from.
Get on your laptop, girl. Pull up them sources. He does not know how to use a laptop himself. That's why he did not bring one to the debate. Use what you got, girl. Rung what you brung.
Entering because you're a Holocaust denier, not because of Israel, because a 100-year-old experimentee of Mengele came forward and said, "Do not subject me to this trauma."
She's
and the
just
Interior
crystal
Minister
clear
of
she
Australia
doesn't
said,
deny
"Wait, what's it?"
Well, she just said it.
No. But she denies Mengele's experiments,
and that's not when they literally just said 6 million Jews got killed in the Holocaust.
Wait.
That's not Holocaust
Wait a
denial.
second. Come on, Piers. You're more subtle. You're more subtle than that.
You
can say that 6 million Jews died. You can say. Of course, you could be a Holocaust denier. Why don't you let me answer, please? You could say that 6 million Jews were accidentally bombed by Curtis LeMay and by Bomber Harris, and there was no Zyklon B. She said that Mengele did not do those experiments. By the way, this is not my decision. This is the government of Australia that is barring her. Please don't interrupt me, Candace. The most famous example in Australia of a Jewish pedophile. Please don't interrupt me. The most famous example of a Jewish pedophile was a woman named Malka Laufer. She was a religious woman from Melbourne, Australia, and she apparently abused 74 children. She ran to Israel. She was prosecuted by Israel, extradited. She's in Australia being prosecuted right now. This is a total fabrication, and it comes down to what. Candace has the most unhealthy obsession with Jewish sexuality. Notice that we all know that the Vatican, of course, took cardinals, like the Cardinal Archbishop of Boston, and gave them the highest positions in the Vatican. She has never criticized that. Only Israel. Now, Candace, let me ask you a point-blank question. Did you say that Theodore Herzl, you said he was a Frankist or descended?
You see how fucking stupid this is? Do you guys realize here that the debate's almost over? This was supposed to be a debate about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and currently we're at 56 minutes of an hour-long debate. They've talked about the Israel-Palestine conflict for 5 minutes tops, and now we're arguing who has worse pedophiles, the Catholics or the Jews. This is highbrow stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we come to Piers Morgan's show, for the really good highbrow debates.
For Frankus, again, Frankus became Catholic. He was Jewish. Did you say that Theodore Herzl set up Israel as a haven for Jewish pedophiles?
Okay, first and foremost, I just want to debunk your claim that what I said was a lie. It is in CBS News, and it was the Jewish Community Watch, an American organization that tracks accused pedophiles who has been trying for years to find a specific pedophile. They are the ones that brought this to the forefront, and CBS News partnered with them.
What's the name of the pedophile? What's the name of that pedophile? I just gave you a name, Alka Laufer. What's the name of that pedophile?
Well, they were tracking down.
You don't know, do you? Now let's go to the Vatican. How many people they allowed? How many cardinal archbishops were protected?
Please don't cut me off. Please don't cut me off. You told a lie, and so I'm debunking it live for you. The pedophile.
What's the name of the pedophile they're looking for? What's the name?
I'm trying to say it for the third time. His name is Jimmy Julius Carreau.
You're looking it up right now? You mean you said all this and you had no idea?
The title of the article in CBS News is entitled How Jewish American Pedophiles Hide from Justice in Israel. CBS News teamed up with a Jewish organization and came to this conclusion because they were the ones that brought it to the forefront. So courageous Jewish people who are—
Do we really need someone to read off the internet in a debate?
This
is not your show. This is a debate.
Okay.
I am
debunking. Did you say that Theodore Herzl created the state of—
Oh, he's goddamn, bro. You can't say fact check that and then get mad when it gets fact checked. Holy fucking shit. This is pathetic here.
If you don't mind me saying, I think we are getting too obsessionally sidetracked into pedophilia.
No. This is one critical thing.
Did you say
set up Israel as a haven for pedophiles?
I want to end. We've got to end the debate. I want to end the debate by giving you both this opportunity. Right? You are both.
You guys, it's the debate it's ending now. We learned so much, guys.
Religious people. Right? Every religion purports to be peace-loving, right? Religions are supposed to spread peace and harmony and love and respect and kindness. Whether you're a Catholic, as I am, as Candace is, whether you're a Jew, as you are, Rabbi Shmuley. So I'm going to ask you both, and I'll start with you, Candace, to say something nice about Rabbi Shmuley. Be a Christian. What would you say?
Yeah, I actually deeply
nice nose. Oh, fuck. Nice beard.
Appreciate Rabbi Shmuley having a platform. It's not something that I've ever said I want his platform stripped away, because I think that he does more in terms of revealing what it is that I'm speaking about when I'm talking about radicalism than anybody else. And so in that way, I'm grateful that he has a platform, and I would never call for him to be banned from anywhere. I hope he gets a megaphone, and I think that people watching his behavior today.
Do you see any saving grace as a human being?
I think I will pray for him. I will pray for his conversion into Christianity. I don't think it's normal to lie like that and feel nothing, but he continues to do it. He's filing FBI reports against me over pizza. I don't have any hatred in my heart towards Rabbi Shmuley. I really don't. Like I've said, I hope he forever has a platform, because I think that
over pizza. I have the same question. What are we? Is that a fucking is that a dog whistle right there? Pizza, like DC pizza. You guys know what I'm hinting at here. I don't want to get some flag on my video for talking about the pizza theory. Is that what we're referencing?
It showcases to the world what it is that I'm speaking about when we speak about radical Zionism.
Okay, Rabbi Shmuley, do you want something nice about Candace Owens?
Absolutely. She is gifted by God with incredible eloquence. I think she can repent and cease being a force for hatred against the black community who call her Candace, who have rejected her utterly. She is one of the most despised women in America by the black community. She is doing a whole new tour to be reaccepted. I think she can use her eloquence to apologize. Instead, she essentially hinted that the only reason she attacked the black community for the past 4 years, calling them stupid and dumb and can't vote for themselves and cry wolf and racism, was because she was forced to do so at the Daily Wire. I call it the Daily Liar. Maybe that's correct, but I think she should take personal responsibility. Saying that Israel was created as a haven for Jewish pedophiles by Theodore Herzl is not the way she's going to repent. Saying that she defends Kanye West when he says he loves Hitler. Hitler killed 10,000 Jews a day, 3 9/11s a day for 4 years, between 1941 and 1945.
I think we know the greatest
second, please.
No, I know the greatest is coming. It's fine. We've heard them.
But
all I wanted you to do was say something nice.
I think she could use her. I think she could use.
That's how we started this.
I think she could use her eloquence to repent. That's all.
Okay.
And I think finally that if Candace could just come forward and admit that as a Christian, Jesus said clearly that you cannot approach him except through the Jews. He said that the Jews are the root and Christians are the branch. The fact that we in the community consider her the #1 anti-Semite in America means that she cannot relate to Jesus. So I'm saying become a Christian. That's a very nice thing to say. The fact that Jesus said I'm sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. Come and learn about the Jewish Jesus. You know what, Candace? I'll give you a free copy of my book, Kosher Jesus. It teaches you about the Jewish Jesus. The meek shall inherit the earth. Love your enemies. Turn the other cheek. Don't say, and stop calling me a killer. Stop saying I'm trying to kill you. You've said it over and over again. You are saying what Henry II said. Rid me of this troublesome priest.
I think we've established you're struggling to find anything nice to say about Candace, but I appreciate you both coming on together for this debate. I think it's been very illuminating, and thank you for doing it. Thank you for being uncensored.
Thank you very much, Piers.
Thank you.
Holy fuck. Holy fucking shit. Guys, I was not ready for that. I literally thought we saw the title of the debate. I even fucking minimized the video so that we could see the title. It said nothing about Israel-Palestine conflict. And like I said, I think that the title was planned to be Israel-Palestine conflict debate between Rabbi Shmuley and fucking Candace Owens. But Piers Morgan, after sitting through this atrocious debate where these fucking idiots only talked about the conflict for 5 minutes out of an hour-long debate, he knew he couldn't, in good faith, fucking put anything about the conflict in the title. It was a fucking petty ass clickbait title, and then set up as an Israel-Palestine debate. That was insane. All right, well, like I said, I found a kitten in my mom's yard. It's out in the next room, just absolutely driving me fucking crazy. This whole time I've been streaming, the cat has been fucking screaming. Okay? It's out there just being fucking insane. So I need to address that problem. Okay? I think I'll give it some food or something. I'll hold it for a little bit, maybe. Okay? But yeah, I gotta get out of here. Thank you guys for checking out the show. The Fat Pig. I'm gonna play your favorite royalty-free outro song here. You better still be in the chat, motherfucker. Anyway, if you're new to the stream here, please like and subscribe, and check out my YouTube channel and other social media. I do parody songs and all kinds of shit. I have a Tim Walls parody. Finally, my shit gets hit with copyright infringements on YouTube, and then it throttles my views. Any of my videos that get hit with a copyright, it gets throttled like fuck. But somehow my Tim Walls parody song has gotten it's past 1K now, thank God. But anyway, yeah, I do my own videos and music and all this shit. The royalty-free music I got on here for the stream is all shit I made myself. So I'm a busy man. I'm fucking hustling here, so I could use the support. I truly would appreciate it. So anyway, thanks again. This has been Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. We fucking made it through that debate together. I cannot believe it. That was absolutely fucking nuts and just a waste of time. I mean, not really. It was entertaining, but if you thought you were going to learn something about Israel-Palestine from those two, you were sorely mistaken. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we will be back on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? That's my normal time, sort of, that I get on. Who knows what the fuck I'll be talking about tomorrow. But anyway, I hope you join me for the show later. I hope to see you again. Who's in the chat last minute? Get your cat ions or IAMs. Is that what you're referring to? The food? I actually have really healthy cat food I buy for my adult cat, but this little kitten, I got some soft food for it. Anyway, all right. Thanks again, guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I appreciate the support. I will see you later. Thank you.